Alright, I've been doing a little bit of work here. Had my water pump start whining at me, so I've been getting that thing ripped out, place it, and along the way I'm doing my belts, hoses, new antifreeze, and eliminating some old AC connections and the compressor, the condenser, the evaporator, this bracket for the compressor, the AC pulley weighs a ton, so ignition coil mount, I'll remount that. And this fan factory weighs a ton, 15 pounds, so eliminating a lot of weight there. Be nice. Horsepower and fuel mileage, and getting the condenser out will allow a lot more airflow for my radiator. So just little stuff like that. Said repairs and maintenance, and then I'll do basic tune-up stuff. Well, I've got all the room here. Eliminated all these lines. There was a whole rear air heating and air conditioning system that ran to the back. 4 lines. I got those out of there. Get all these cleaned up and eventually upgrade the AC if I get one, or just use my cabin one. House AC. I mean. So yeah, fun stuff. Got the floor all cut out. Weird shapes cut out, ready to pull it out, throw down some insulation, and screw it down. I find out where all my screws are going to go first, make sure I don't go to anything important. Yeah. Laying down my Havelock wool, figuring out which ways to get the bats laid out. I think I got it figured out. Alright, we got the insulation in place, the plywood laid down, ready to mark my lines and screw it down. Super excited for this. Finally. Woohoo! More parts for the van has arrived. Mechanical stuff, some few repairs, but mostly just tune up and some good maintenance. Sorry about my bad camera angles here. Let's see what we got here. Help. Foot. Bunch of goodies. Oh yeah. It's all here. Sweet. And more here. I'm gonna go get some work done. I have to say, by far one of the coolest things about old vans like this is this doghouse engine cover right here. Makes doing any kind of work a lot easier. You can reach the back of the engine. Doing tune-up stuff like that. Do change my valve cover gaskets because they're leaking, and PCV valve, grommet, fuel filter, fuel lines, and basically tune-up stuff, spark plugs, all that. Gear running good, new water pump, thermostat, hoses. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. Should be a good runner soon. There's the engine. Right there. Couldn't be any easier. And transmission. So the nice thing is literally sit in this van, which you really shouldn't have to do if you do your basic maintenance. You got a good runner. Shouldn't have to do much, but when you occasionally got to do repair or maintenance, you have a nice warm van to sit inside, dry. You can do a lot from back here. Rerouted the spark plug wires. Engine cover off, doing spark plugs on this bank over here, and then finished doing these valve cover gaskets and working my way forward. Alright, got the valve covers cleaned and I got new Velcro gaskets. So, no more leaks and it should be good for a while. So valve covers are going back on today. And a few other little things too. Slowly but surely, coming along. Alright, back at the van today. Last time I got the water pump on and thermostat and gaskets. Had been fighting me for a little bit. I had a couple bolts snap off inside the housing, including this long one right here. And it's a long one. It goes all the way back through here, through the housing and into the block. And so I actually just welded another bolt, just the shank of a bolt, cut the head off, turned it into a stud, and then I got washers and nuts on there. So all the rest of them are still bolts. And then there's one right here that was sheared off flush with the housing, and I'd have to take all that off, and hopefully not really a necessary bolt, so shouldn't leak, but it's not really supporting the weight of the water pump, so it should be good. But yeah, I finished throwing her back together today. I got her replaced the spark plugs already. It was easy to get to them when I had the valve covers off. Did the valve covers and gaskets. Replaced the spark plug wires, and then the cap and rotor, ignition coil. And then put the power steering pump and alternator back on, new belts, flushed the alternator, or excuse me, the radiator, put it back on, got a new cap. Put all new heater hoses and radiator hoses on. I'm gonna install an overflow for the radiator because it doesn't have one, as well as a heater valve that'll go to my heater core line so I can turn it off with a cable mounted through the dash. That way I don't have heat radiating from my vents up in the cab during the summer. So that'll be nice. But yeah, flex fan, eliminated the old heavy mechanical clutch fan. That'll save some weight, add a little horsepower. Got rid of all the old useless air conditioning stuff, except for a couple lines I've got to chop out. That freed up a bunch of weight. And again, not having the condenser behind the radiator right here will allow it to run a lot cooler, keep the engine nice and cool. But yeah, some good work, a few repairs, mostly just good maintenance. So it's getting nice out. Spring is on the way. Get this all done, put back together, and then I got a little more oil change, transmission fluid and filter. And then after it's all together, flush the whole cooling system before I put antifreeze in. And then so I'm gonna drain the fuel, put new fuel in it. Oh yeah, replace the filters and lines too. And then be back on the inside, the floor, get that all done. So I can start taking some, just throw a freaking ice chest and a bed in it and go camping and try it out at least. Get out of town for a weekend would be nice. So, making progress, slow but steady. It is what it is.